All right. Hello and welcome to another Thursday. The poll is up. Please vote. This one's very, very important. All right. Joe, go ahead.
All right. So this week we have a few topics to discuss. The weekly presentation will be by Alicia regarding the pod. Yes, everybody. And then I will go through a brief style guide feature regarding Rochester promos or teasers. So the first topic to discuss is regarding commentary columns, opinion page stuff. Everything should have a column seg. No more bylines with a mugshot, unless there's like more than one writer for the column. Just get in the habit now of making column segs for these items, and if you do, let us know, and then we can add those to the library as well. So yeah, so going forward, no more. I know Grand Forks likes doing that a lot, but we're just going to stick with column segs and get rid of the byline mug combination. Again, unless there's more than one author. And I believe Michael has a few topics he wants to discuss.
Dude. Sorry, just sharing my screen in a second. I just wanted to go through a couple things again that we've talked about before, just to kind of drive home the points, because I've been seeing them pop up a lot. So I've been seeing a lot of people do the 4-on-6 grid for your page. We've talked about it in a couple manager meetings and have decided that this is a little bit too wide. So we wanted to reinforce the kind of sticking within one of the grid. So, 1/2, 2/3, but not 4/6. So that's a little bit too wide. I have 2 examples, and it's not that they look horrible. It's just, we're straying a little bit far away from what we intend to do and what kind of we want pages to look like. So there's 2 different ones. It just looks like a lot, in my opinion, when it's not broken up at least through a couple more columns. On that same note, we also want to stress that headlines need to be rewritten if they're going to be 2 decks over 6 columns. That's happening a lot more frequently than we're kind of interested in. We understand that stuff happens, but we need to get those rewritten, please. And then I have a couple skeletons to go over quick. One is with this new marketing ad. So I've talked with Alicia, and it's okay if it's on the left side or the right side. So I actually have it built into a couple of the skeletons. I'm trying to get everybody on board. It's just taken a little longer than I wanted. So I'm just going to pull this off to the side here, and you can see that, that the space created for this one, I'll just put it on there gently, is actually on the right side. So this is where you would put that. You don't need to shift the skeleton or move anything other than this ad to make it fit in the placement of the skeleton. I've also been told that it can be stretched to fill a 5-column, to fill the space within a 5-column grid. It doesn't make it unreadable. It doesn't make it blurry. Just kind of make sure that you're not going too wide, but with the built-in spaces, you shouldn't have any problem with that. So like I said, this can go on either side based on where the hole is within the skeleton. I'm working on Duluth right now in the Duluth group. So that will be the next one up. Rochester, Brainerd, a couple other ones are already all ready to go. Last thing I have is for all caps centerpiece headlines. I have built these into the skeletons, but I just wanted to reaffirm that they don't have to be all caps all the time. Especially I've seen a couple where all caps, yes, the sizes are different and the sizes meet our criteria, but on the page, they look like they're competing a little bit with this bottom one sometimes. So if you ever take the can go to title case or sentence case, excuse me, wrong one. So it should go to sentence case so that the first word, is capitalized if needed. And that way you can stretch it out a little bit more to get more size on the page if that's what you need. Simply for your design, it's fine to not make those all caps if it doesn't work. So those are the couple things I have. Feel free to reach out if you have any questions.
All right. So Alicia, you have
Joe, why don't you go ahead and do the style feature first?
the style feature. All right. So when we took over Rochester, their promos changed slightly, but these styles are referenced in the style book for Rochester, and they still can be used if requested by editors, or if you think they might look better, and you can suggest it to the editors. I'm going to share my screen here. Let me see. All right. Can everybody see this?
Yep.
All right. So these are like some of the examples you can do for their skyboxes. This is in the style guide. It's, I believe, it's page 2.12. And I grabbed this as well, and I'll email it all to you after the meeting. But you can do different things. We don't have to be completely set in how the template is. So you can do cutouts or, do something a little fancier, as you can see. As long as you run it by the editors, or if they request it. I haven't seen them request it in some time, so I don't know if they remember they can do this. So these are just some options you are allowed to do. Just run it by the editors first and let them know, and even suggest it. I mean, it kind of just changes it up too, so it doesn't look the same every day. So I'll email that out to you, but it is in their style guide, and that's just some more options for you guys for that. You guys have any questions? All righty. Can we get those in the library? Yes, we certainly can put those in the library. I'll work on that this weekend. That'll be my project this weekend. So
Good. I love when Joe has weekend projects. You all let us know if you have any other suggestions for weekend projects for Joe.
Please.
All right. I just shared the results of the poll. As I said, this is very important. It's probably our most important poll ever. What kind of shark is best? You guys voted great white shark, the best, and no love for the cookie cutter shark. I'm a little surprised. 2 of you picked other shark, but I don't see anything in the comments on what other shark. So please put that in while I'm talking, because I'm interested. Makos, dog fins. I want to hear it. Shark Week starts on Sunday. That's why that was the poll. Baby shark. Yes. All right. Good work, Aaron. The baby shark. Do, 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 do. Mark says the vacuum shark.
Oh, nice.
That is an excellent shark. I have watched that infomercial for the one that like bends to go under the bed a lot late at night and really thought about it. Okay, thank you all. I want to make this is sort of a half announcement because we don't have all the details figured out, but I know that a number of people in the company have already been told about this, and I didn't want you all to feel like you were the last to know, since this is going to affect how you work positively, I think. Don't have anxiety. So at the beginning of May, a group of several of us met to discuss some of the issues that we have had when it comes to our production, the the pull with the newspapers between all the things they're being asked to do for digital, what we're asking them to do, what all the issues are between that, and really just figure out the best way to move forward, making sure that we still put out really great quality print products while also making sure that the local sites have the time to dedicate to digital that they need to, given the direction the company is going to go with the digital offerings becoming our main revenue source in the future. That meeting was me, Jason, Kristen and Matt Corey, Mary Jo, Aaron Beecher, Mandy from HR led it. Kelly Bolden was there, Matt Von Panan, Nancy Vogt from the BPEJ, a number of people from different departments and groups throughout the company. And essentially what we determined was that there's really no way that we can ask editors to appropriately balance the demands of print with the demands of what they're being asked to do for digital. And so we agreed that what we need to do is to form a separate team that will focus on our print production. And when I say print production, I mean both actual print papers as well as the e-papers that we produce. And that plan has been given the green light. Some of the details are yet to be figured out. But essentially what it is that we will work closely with a new group that's being formed called the Production Operations Division, or POD. And the POD people will be editors whose job it will be to focus on print and e-paper production. So instead of editors putting together budgets for their paper, they will just focus on getting their content in, like just putting together the best content possible. And then they will let the pod editors know, this is the content that I have. And those pod people will take it from there, turn it into a budget, work with us to answer questions. Essentially, we're just streamlining the system. So our newsrooms focus on content, on creating content, and on sharing it digitally. And then we have a product team that focuses on the pieces that we handle. So all of our budgets will become totally uniform because we'll have one group that's doing all of them. We will have more shared pages and shared modules because we'll be able to communicate better with what's going on so we can be more efficient that way. That group is going to help identify content that deserves a little more time devoted to its presentation so that we can assign someone to work especially on, here's an enterprise package or a, investigatory piece or whatever that, deserves special design treatment. We are going to look into all the different options that our e-paper service provides. In PageSuite, we have a ton of options that we have not used at all. You can post video in an e-paper page, galleries, links. There's a lot of things that we can do that right now we are not doing. And so I'm really excited to have this separate team because in addition to driving efficiencies for us, making things easier for us, because, like one thing we struggle with now is that, I needed this by 4, it's still not in. And the site will be like, well, I'm working on it. Like, you'll get it. And, this team will be able to say, okay, it's 4, that's not in. So here's what we're putting there instead. And we can keep moving on our end. Those people will also be more familiar with all the aspects of production because it's going to be their job day in and day out. So questions that come up, they'll be better able to answer. They'll also have a better feel for space. So they'll be able to adjust headlines easier. They'll be really familiar with skeletons. So we'll be able to move forward in the skeleton initiative to using those inside covers, some of our inside pages, all kinds of things. Once it's completely rolled out, I think it's going to immediately make things easier for us. And then once it's completely rolled out, I think it's going to make things a lot easier for all of us. It was made clear in that meeting by people several pay grades above me that the company still puts tremendous value on the work that we do on our print papers and on our e-papers, and they do not see those going away. So the challenge is just how to balance those with the digital things that we're doing to build on our membership model. And so this is what we determined was going to be the best way to allow us and our company to really focus on putting together really great quality newspapers and continuing to have that as a main focus while also allowing newsrooms to meet the expectations of the digital. So I know that's sort of a broad overview, and we'll have more details to come as those are a little bit hashed out. But any specific questions that you have right now that I can answer for you? You can type them or feel free to just unmute yourself. We do not have a specific start date set for that yet. But as soon as we know what's going on, we'll let you know. Paula says, that sounds like a great idea. Just saying. I agree, Paula. Thank you.
Alicia, I do have a question that we haven't gone over yet, just to make sure that one thing that I want to make sure of. Yeah, exactly. So we will have like a pod representative available all the hours that designers are here. Is that right? So like, something like Alex or whatever, like a one like that, where we sometimes do run into issues of pages lingering over or anything like that. You expect us to have somebody that can answer our questions, relatively quickly in those areas?
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. The plan is that we'll work and have that our budget and the pod budget will, or schedules rather, will overlap. Becca says uniform budgets. Whoop, whoop. I agree. It's just a bummer that Tim left, because I think it would really make his day if he was still here. You guys know how Tim felt about the budgets. Tanner says, will this affect any e-paper deadlines? As of right now, there's no plans at all for this to affect any of the deadlines on our end. There is discussion about the content deadlines and simplifying those a little bit, given that it will be a smaller group of people working with them. And it's not going to have to be that, it's just one editor at the site that we have to do, like, okay, so we can stagger the last stories because I need you to get this one and then you got to read this one and get it to us. And, so there's going to be some streamlining and efficiencies there. But in terms of our deadlines for getting things done, there's no plans for any changes. Any other questions? All right. Well, as always, if you think of any later, you know where to reach me. There'll be more news on this in the coming weeks. I'm really excited about this. I think it's going to be great for all of us. It's going to just make things easier. Starts like tomorrow, right? Yes, tomorrow would be great. So there's still a few things to be determined, like who's going to be in charge of the pod, all of the people that will be members of that, and things like that. And then we will determine a timeline, and I'll let you guys know as soon as we have that. But again, I'm very excited for it. I'll get you more details as soon as I have them, but I wanted you all to know that this is coming up and that I think it's going to be a really positive change for us, and it's going to solve a lot of the things that have been driving a lot of us crazy for a few years now. So, it's always a process when we switch to something like this. There'll probably be a few glitches that we'll work through, but I'm very, very excited about it. So, all right, Michael or Joe, did you guys have anything else today?
Nope.
All right. Well, then thank you all. It was lovely to see your icons here in this meeting. Enjoy your Shark Week. We'll see you all later. Bye.